It's a brisk autumn afternoon on the banks of Lake Erie. Interconference action, the Green Bay Packers and the Cleveland Browns. And hi, everybody. I'm Jim Nantz along with Hank Stram. Welcome. We have two hungry teams. Each are 2-3 on the season. And an interesting story at quarterback, Hank. You have Brett Favre. What a future he has for the Packers starting today. But Mike Tomczak will go for Cleveland for the third straight game. He began the year playing for the Packers.
Well, you know, he came from the Chicago Bears and went to the Packers, started 7 games for Green Bay last year, and actually could have been starting this game today had he not held out. They put him on waivers. Cleveland's got him. They like him very, very much. But the fact that he's here has provided Brett Favre with an opportunity to be where he is today. He's a fine young guy. He's a rising star and a franchise player.
Well, it certainly is football-like weather today. In fact, we have not even reached 40 degrees as we inch toward game time. 37 and a chance of snow showers off Lake Erie. That's the forecast. How about the football field, Hank?
It's bad. I went down on the field before the game. I was 6'3". When I stepped on the field on that soft goulash, why, I was 5'7". So it's going to be difficult in that particular area. I think it's going to be good for the offense, but tough for the defense. And I think the field conditions could decide whether you make a field goal or miss one, or whether you make a touchdown or miss one during the course of this game.
Tommy Vardell takes the opening kick across the 30-yard line as Cleveland won the toss. And here is Mike Tomczak, T-Zac, 7-game starter last year for the Packers. And now the signal caller for Cleveland with both Bernie Kosar and Todd Wilcox out with injuries. Offensive front, he has his old battery mate, Jay Hilgenberg, snapping it to him. Vardell, the rookie, first running back taken in the draft with Metcalf in the backfield. Jackson and Collins are the receiver, and Mark Bavaro, the old giant, is the tight end lined up on the right side. From the 31, Vardell. Vardell breaks the first tackle and gets about 4 to the 35. Chuck Cecil, the free safety for Green Bay, made the hit. Now let's set the Green Bay defense. On the front, Matt Brock and John Yurkovich with Robert Brown, but we'll be seeing Keith Millard very early. Linebackers are Pop, Noble, Holland, who's been off to a big start, and Tony Bennett. Terrell Buckley, the first-rounder from Florida State, with Vinnie Clark, Leroy Butler, and Chuck Cecil in what promises to be a really big-time secondary down the line for Green Bay. 2nd down and 6. In fact, Millard's already back in there. Did not start, but comes in on the second play. And again, it's a running play with Vardell. Vardell about a yard short of the first. That was a 5-yard run, tackled by Brian Noble.
It's not easy, difficult to understand, Jim, why they're running the football. The Packers have averaged 5.1 against the run, and as a result, why I think the Browns are going to do a lot of running, try to move the chains, and will also try to use play-action passes to good advantage. Here we see a good shot of Bill Belichick, the fine young coach of the Cleveland Browns.
Only 40 years old, his second year. 3rd and 1. Vardell has run it the first 2 snaps. Now they have 2 tight ends in, and it's Kevin Mack near the first down yardage. Kevin Mack was on injured reserve for the first 4 games with a calf injury, and then came back last week to play against Pittsburgh and scored a touchdown in the victory over the Steelers. It is a first down for Cleveland as we look now at Mike Holmgren, the 44-year-old first-year coach of the Green Bay Packers.
It was nice to talk to him yesterday. He's a very candid guy, very honest. I've known him for a long time, and I think he's going to really do a fantastic job for the Packers in the future.
Cleveland from its own 41, first down. Tomczak fires it over to Metcalf. Oh, what a blow near midfield. Chuck Cecil has a reputation for some punishing hits in the secondary, and there was one of them.
Here it is, a screen pass to the left. Watch Tomczak get a hit, a quick pass, and look at the shot he gets. And they throw him. Keith Millard got off the ball and gave him a shot early to make sure he knows that he's in the game.
Metcalf is fine, but he heads to the sidelines. Leroy Horde is in on 2nd and 2.
And I'm sure they're going to be throwing play-action passes as we go along in this game, especially when they have two backs in the backfield.
Ardell in the Green Bay territory, but stacked up by Johnny Holland. Johnny Holland, Hank, I mentioned during the lineups, what a start to the year he's had.
Oh, he's had a wonderful start, and he's always playing on the weak side. Weak side meaning that he's on the side away from the tight end. He's had 2 interceptions already this year and is really doing a fantastic job.
That last run was good enough for a first down. So they moved the chains as they spotted the football at the Packers 48. Ford and Galbraith lined up on a wing to the right. Michael Jackson to the left.
They got an advantage on the outside right here. Here they go.
They want to get Metcalf, spring him outside, and he does. Near another first down at the 38.
They were outmanned on the right side, Jim. They had a triple wing formation, had outside leverage on everybody, and unless the back has a heart attack running the football, he's got to make yardage. There he is on the outside. Look at all the room. Makes a good move to the inside and gets about 5 extra yards after he was first hit. And that's the sign of an outstanding back. How many yards does he make after the first guy hits him?
We'll measure for the first. As Metcalf, you can see the scrape just above the elbow, or below the elbow on the forearm, and he's almost a full yard shy of the first. Kevin Mack has replaced Metcalf as they shuttle in the backs, Bardell and Mack, Metcalf and Horde, all alternating. He's 2nd and 1. Belichick, who made quite a reputation as a 12-year assistant as to Bill Parcells and others at the New York Giants, was the defensive coordinator for 2 Giants teams that won Super Bowls.
Had a nice visit with his dad, Steve Belichick, who was a great running back, and now is scouting some for the Browns.
Yeah, it's nice. He put him to work.
Yep. Here's that triple wing formation again to the right side. Now they put a man outside. Now he's moving back on the outside.
2nd and less than a yard. Easily getting the first is Mack. He burst up the middle to the 32-yard line. They'll spot it back at the 33. Ron Wolfley helped clear the way for him, Hank.
That was a trap play. He was on the wing and then went in motion to the inside and made a trap block, meaning they permit the tackle to come across the line of scrimmage like he's going to get a tackle, and then he's hit from the blind side. That's what trap blocking is all about.
Metcalf and Horde are the running backs, but they send Horde out to the left side on a wing on 1st and 10.
Got to throw a play-action pass here sometime soon.
Tomczak loves play action. Here it is. Good fake. Looking for Michael Jackson. Buckley on the coverage. Incomplete. And no call. No penalty flag at all. And I don't believe there should have been anyway. That was a catchable ball for Michael Jackson, who's had of the case of the drops already this year.
Yeah, but here again, I think Buckley had him faded in good shape, but it was a catchable ball. Look at him. He's with him step for step. And I think he got a hand in there that helped knock the ball loose, Jim, and that's what happened on the play. Maybe had the ball been thrown a little bit sooner and a little farther, he might have had a better chance to make that catch.
Jackson dropped a touchdown against Denver, then came back with a 47-yard touchdown catch, wide open last week in the win against the Steelers.
Now they got 6 on 4. They ought to throw again here.
Yep, no tight end, 4 receivers.
See, they didn't. They were outmanned on the play. So they should have changed the play at the line of scrimmage. They had 6 defensive people in the box, meaning 6 people between the area of the offensive tackles. The offense only has 5, so they're a man short.
Tony Bennett on the hit. Kevin Mack, no gain.
Look at it. You got 4 linemen and 2 linebackers. They got 5, so you got 6 on 5, and that's what the problem is. See, here's the box right in here. You got 6 against their 5, and you shouldn't be able to make yardage running the ball, but you ought to pump it up and throw the ball against 6 on 5.
Well, they lost a yard, Hank.
Yep.
So it's 3rd and 11. Back to the shotgun. Tomczak. Lawyer Tillman has come in. His first action in over 2 years. Tomczak will be sacked near the 40, but a flag is down.
I think Pop, the left end, was premature in his charge, and maybe he was the one that was offside. We'll see in a second.
Yep, offside against Green Bay. So it'll be 3rd and 6. That sack would have taken.
Number 99, defense, 5 yards, 3rd down.
All right, Bob McElwee on the call. That sack would have taken Cleveland out of field goal range, but they'll get another try now on 3rd down.
Watch him on our left. Watch him. He got an early start, and that's why they called the penalty.
3rd and 6 from the 29. Jackson and Tillman lined up to the right. Tillman, what a story. Out of action for over 2 years.
Now they got 5-on-5, and it's a good time to run the ball, see?
And they do. Leroy Horde, can he get by the wave?
There it is, boys.
Here the first down at the 24. May require a measurement. It was Pop on the coverage, or on the tackle, along with Johnny Holland. We'll bring the chains out. Hank, it sounds so simple, but what a difference being 2-4 if you lose this game versus 3-3 on the season.
Yeah, it really is a dramatic difference. It's amazing.
Didn't get it. Belichick with Kevin Mack may want to go for it. And he will. They bring in 2 tight ends, Bavaro and Galbraith. Ron Wolfley will likely throw a lead block for Kevin Mack. On 4th and inches. Opening drive of the game. Drive started at Cleveland's 31.
Quarterback sneak.
Tom Zach driving forward, and I believe he has it, Hank.
I think he does too, and basically a rule of thumb, anytime you have less than a yard, maybe a foot or a foot and a half, normally you're going to run the quarterback sneak. If it's more than that, then you're going to give it to a back.
They still haven't given him the first down indication. Bob McElwee, I believe, wants a measurement.
I don't think there should be any question about the fact that he made the first down, but we'll see in a minute.
Yep, they bring the chains out. I think he's got it, Hank, by about a football.
Yep, you're right, Jim. By a large margin. About an inch. Now you got to decide whether you're going to pound it, or whether this would be a good opportunity for the play-action pass, because they are running the ball so well. They might try to hit one here on 1st and 10. But they got one back there, so in all probability, they won't do that. They'll probably pound it.
Metcalf is the running back. Will run left. Ford out in front trying to clear out the end. And Tony Bennett absolutely buries Metcalf at the 22.
Metcalf, it looked like he had a cavity on the inside, but tried to string it out. And by the time he got there, the pursuit was right there to make the tackle. It looked like had he cut inside, he might have had a chance for a big play.
Metcalf against the Raiders in a Cleveland victory on the coast was absolutely sensational, Hank. Had 4 touchdowns in that game, the most by a Browns player since Leroy Kelly in 1968.
Yeah, and he ran for touchdowns. He caught passes for touchdowns. But he's a big league player and a big playback.
This is the only game, by the way, he's scored a touchdown in. All 4 of his season touchdowns in that game against the Raiders.
They're trying to get the ball to him as much as they possibly can, too, Jim. They're putting him in 5 different positions.
Timeout called by Cleveland. They've already had the football for 13 plays to begin the game.
A real sports scoop is more than fancy technology. It's the perfect balance between the needs of a driver and the needs of a curve. With a pure, focused performance that makes even the same old road seem new. Because it's not the road you take, it's how you take the road. The all-new 24-valve Ford Probe GT. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Black, the color of shadows and night. modern art, foreign films, bold, basic. Black. No other color even comes close. And nobody does black like Dockers.
I'm on the road every day of the week, making over a dozen stops along my route, so I know the value of good brakes. I've got a lot of little lives depending on them. And when I'm out on the road with my family, our lives depend on good brakes. That's why I depend on Meineke.
At Meineke, we do brakes, and we do them right. We analyze the whole system, pinpoint the problem, and fix it, period.
No matter why you're on the road, you can depend on brakes from Meineke. I do.
Cleveland Stadium, drizzle in the air. Jim Nantz and Hank Stram, and that's the warning track that they have put a sod over on that particular end of the field. The other end was the baseball infield, and that's also going to be a mess by day's end.
Yeah, it looks like somebody dumped a load of rice pudding in that area. That's how slippery it is.
Never played in rice pudding.
Well, they're going to get a chance to play on it this afternoon.
2nd down and 9. What a drive to start the game for the Browns. Green Bay has not touched it. 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Zach at the 10, caught by Collins. First down, Cleveland. That was a 12-yard pass play to Sean Collins.
Man-for-man coverage. Sean Collins, number 80, making the catch. Goes back in the pocket. Good protection, very good protection. He anchors in the hole and makes the catch. A very good move on the part of Sean Collins.
That Cleveland offensive line, so maligned in the opener when it allowed 11 sacks to Indianapolis, has fought back and only given up 3 sacks total in the last 4 games. 1st and 10, Mack, and by the ankle, Chuck Cecil. Hank, time of possession on the season, Cleveland next to last in the league, only 25 minutes and change per game, but they've already had it now for 9 minutes to start this one. Green Bay is second, only second to Philadelphia in the league.
Yeah, they'll change those stats dramatically if they continue to run like they are right now. That time again, they ran against 6 defensive people when they only had 5. Here again, look at this now. They got 6 on 5. No, they got 5 on 5. Here we see 5 on 5, so you ought to be able to run this.
2nd and 7. Good time for Tom Zach in the end zone. No, incomplete. Intended for Collins.
One thing about that now, they got a three-man line, 5 defensive backs playing a zone defense. Plenty of time to throw the football. Good protection. And again, down in this area, because it's so soft, it's going to be a lot easier to pass block than it is for the defensive lineman to rush the quarterback.
Chuck Cecil got a hand on that one to knock it away. Cleveland had it 3 times when they lost to Denver inside of the 20 and failed to score. Right now it's 3rd and 7. 5 defensive backs in for the Pack. Tom Zach fires, almost intercepted. Oh, Terrell Buckley had a chance for it at the goal line, and it may have been a 100-yard run back had he held on to it.
Man-for-man coverage again. Good coverage, as you mentioned, Jim, by Buckley. And I can't, look at this, good protection. Look at that, all the time in the world. And watch Buckley come in here. Should have made that interception. Anytime you get one in your hands, you've got to catch it. He evidently didn't keep his eye on the ball, and for that reason, it bounced out of his hands, hit his shoulder pads, and popped right out of it.
Collins was the target. Now here's Matt Stover. 26-yard attempt. 3-0 Cleveland.
You know, Jim, I'll come back to this in just a minute.
So Cleveland keeps the football for 9.5 minutes. Nets a field goal from 26.
Come on, let me show you where it's at.
Oh, baby, come on. Let me show you where it's at.
Whoa, 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 let me show you where it's at. Call the light, I like it like that. Come on.
While styles change and rearrange,
Miller Lite is brewed from the start to be the one great tasting beer that's less filling. It's everything you want a beer to be. Then, now, and forever.
As times changed, so did the Ford full-size pickup. But it was always one tough truck, and boy, could it haul a load. Today, it's still tough, but it's designed to ride better. It has more style, more comfort, and boy, can it haul a load. Times change, trucks change, but Ford Tough never does.
The best never ends.
Well, I do watch my figure.
She's a beautiful girl.
But fat-free cereal.
Fat-free cereal?
I'd rather eat regular cereal and just dance more.
She's a beautiful dancer.
Now this, crispy, simple, wonderful, probably loaded with fat.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes have always been fat-free.
Fat-free? Kellogg's Corn Flakes? You're not telling me the truth.
Is he bothering you?
Taste them again for the first time.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? Miller Lite, an official sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 27. And by Levi's Dockers. Nobody does color like Dockers.
3-0 Browns. They had the football for 17 plays. They get a field goal from Stover from 26 yards.
You know, I hate to second guess it, which is easy to do, but really I couldn't understand why they threw pocket passes when they ran down the field like they did. Play action passes would have been more appropriate.
Robert Brooks on the run back to the 25-yard line.
All right, here we get a picture of Green Bay almost getting a touchdown on the third down play. Let's take a look at it. That's Buckley playing in the defensive halfback position. And watch. See, he anticipates the ball thrown out in front and gets there, gets a great jump, good anticipation. Everything was perfect except he didn't catch the ball.
Here is Brett Favre in his third NFL start, the youngest starting quarterback in the NFL. Turned 23 last Saturday.
Now they're going to try to do the same thing, I think. They're going to try to pound it in there and do something on the ground if they can.
Vince Workman on that carry for about 6. And we have an update, Hank, so let's send it back to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Jim, at RFK Stadium in Washington, Mark Rypien gets the Redskins on the board against the Eagles. 10-yard pass to Gary Clark for the touchdown, and with the extra point, Washington over the Eagles, 7-0 in the first, Jim.
Looks like a nice autumn afternoon in Washington. Sunny skies here, very damp. And 37 degrees. Second snap for the Packers. Second down and 5, we'll call it, with 2 tight ends in the game. Workman sidestepping a couple of defenders and then running into Anthony Pleasant and others.
See, that time Cleveland had 7 on their 6 players, and there again, you're a man short. You got to have a tiny back to go through that kind of a tiny hole.
Workman's done quite a job for him, though, at Green Bay this year. Darrell Thompson, by the way, is expected to see some action today, alternating with Workman. Three receivers in the game. 6 defensive backs on 3rd and 4. He's open. Sharp, and he let him too much. There's a flag down. They may have held up Sharp back at the 40-yard line.
He saw man-for-man coverage, and that's why he tried to get the ball up on top.
Well, going against the Packers.
Pass interference, offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
So 3 downs and out for Green Bay. And Paul McJulian is in to punt. Eric Metcalf is the Cleveland returner. a good one. He shanked it. Near midfield, they'll mark it. Cleveland will get it at its own 47. That was only a 21-yard boot. And the Browns are back on the field, leading 3-0.
Mark and my relationship goes way past business. I'm sure in a previous life, he and I were twin brothers. Throughout the race, the driver and crew chief communicate. The driver complains about the car or brags about the car. It's the crew chief's job on pit stops to make whatever fixes he can to help the driver's predicament. Everyone has about the same access to equipment and technology, but the people who rub on it the most and think the most of it and think about it the most will end up winning the race.
Introducing Ford Taurus and Cats and Dogs. Taurus offers dual airbags and anti-lock brakes, perfect for when it's raining cats and dogs. You might say the idea jumped out at us. Ford Taurus.
If you want to move ahead in any career, you have to know what most employers want. Like how to work with a team, how to handle responsibility, how to take on a tough job and see it through. You can learn all these things in the Army, so when you do set off on the road to success, you'll already be in the driver's seat.
All 4 Escort LX models equipped with air conditioning, AM/FM stereo, power steering, and more now share the same low price of just $10,499. 4 Escorts, one price. It's that easy.
You are watching the National Football League on CBS Sports.
Cleveland 3-0 over Green Bay. 3:43 to go in the first. Been all Cleveland with the football so far, Hank, it seems.
Well, they're playing keep away, and that's what they wanted to do. In fact, both teams kind of wanted to do the same thing, but they've got a big advantage at this particular stage in the first quarter.
From their own 48, Eric Metcalf. Wrapped up in a hurry by Leroy Butler. 2 yards maybe on that run.
I tell you, Butler did a good job of coming up and making an open field tackle. That's a difficult thing to do against Eric Metcalf. He's got the shimmy and he's got the shake, and you better keep your eyes open and keep your eyes on the target to make a tackle on him.
Hank, I have a feeling with the experience that Ray Rhodes, the defensive coordinator for the Packers, has as the secondary coach for 11 years at San Francisco. That's a budding young secondary that will be a good one.
Oh, he will be. No question about that.
2nd and 7. Give 3 yards to Metcalf. And through the hands of Mark Bavaro.
That time's a 3-deep zone, and Holland is trying to cover into the flat area, number 50. Watch this now. Watch Holland come into the picture. There you see him coming from the backside, way behind it. The ball had been thrown properly. It would have been a catch, and he would have made some yardage on the play.
6 years with the Giants. Mark Bavaro, 2 Super Bowl rings. Out all of 91. In fact, cut by the Giants. They didn't think he was healthy enough after a bone graft to his left knee, helping out the Cleveland cause. It's 3rd and 7, and from the shotgun, Tom Zach. Good time. He has Metcalf at the 46. That's about 3 yards short of the first. Butler again with a tackle on this series. That's 2 tackles by Butler on this very drive.
That time they had a 2-deep man-for-man coverage on the play. Butler had him man-for-man and did a good job with the coverage.
So Brian Hansen will come in to punt. He has an AFC high 11 punts inside of the 20 this year. And Terrell Buckley has already run one back this year for a touchdown.
I can't understand why Metcalf didn't run the pattern deeper. So if he caught it, he'd get the first down. He still made the catch, and it's short.
Buckley seemed like almost stepped on at the 12-yard line by David Brandon. That was a 33-yard punt, again inside of the 20 as Hansen does his job, and there's a flag on the field.
I don't know whether it was an opportunity.
I did not see a signal for a fair catch.
No, I can't understand what the call is. Uh-oh, there it is. I thought maybe it was preventing him from making an opportunity.
Number 58, 15 yards, first down.
All right, our spotters, Jim Stamos and Maurice Spencer, both saying they saw the signal for a fair catch. So Brandon was interfering with the returner, and they'll step off 15 yards. We'll be right back.
As times changed, so did the Ford full-size pickup. But it was always one tough truck, and boy, could it haul a load. Today, it's still tough, but it's designed to ride better. It has more style, more comfort, and boy, can it haul a load. Times change, trucks change, but Ford Tough never does.
Autumn, a time when trees cast new colors, a time for sharing warmth. And at McDonald's, we're doing just that, sharing the warmth of our new oven-baked apple pies, a cinnamon-dusted crust with golden, delicious apple filling. And now when you buy one, your local McDonald's donates 25 cents to Ronald McDonald Children's Charities, who bring warmth and hope to kids everywhere. Try our new baked apple pie. It's a delicious way to warm your heart.
You're open to a beer brewed from the start. To be the one great-tasting beer that's less filling, there's one beer to open.
Come on, let me show you where it's at. Miller Lite, I like it like that.
Miller Lite. It's everything you want a beer to be.
Come on.
In Game 1, the Braves fans had something to cheer about with an Atlanta win. The Blue Jays try to even it up in Game 2 of the World Series tonight on CBS.
Buckley made a very weak fair catch signal. Look at that. It looks like he's practicing the backstroke here. Look at that. No wonder we didn't see it. It happened so fast. You got to keep that hand up there long enough to make sure that signifies that you're making a fair catch.
But an interference call against the Browns, so Green Bay starts from its 28. That was the first fair catch of the year by the Green Bay Packers. And Workman moves across the 30 for about 5 to the 33. Brett Favre completing 67% of his passes. And here's his offensive line. It's allowed 22 sacks. Only New England, Seattle, and Denver have given up more sacks. Workman and Sidney, the former Niner, Sharp and Beach, along with Jackie Harris, who started today, although we've already seen Ed West in some action. 2nd and 5 for the Pack. Favre comes out of the pocket and tackled from behind by Matthews, Clay Matthews. In his 15th year, made the tackle about a yard shy of the first. Burnett, Jones, Michael Dean Perry, 3-time Pro Bowler, and Anthony Pleasant. Brandon, Mike Johnson, defensive captain, and Clay Matthews in his 206th game. Frank Minifield is back in the starting lineup today with Terry Taylor, Vince Newsom, and Eric Turner. 3rd and a yard for Green Bay. We'll have 4 receivers in the game on 3rd and 1, and Workman's the single back. So they spread them out on short yardage.
So they got 6 on 5 now, and the passing, look at the passing on the outside.
Workman finds a seam to get the first at the 40-yard line.
They got a good push on that right side. Even though they were outmanned by a man, they still got a good push and made the yardage.
By the way, that's a Cleveland defense that has not given up a touchdown in 9 quarters. Willie Gault of the Raiders scored one in the 3rd quarter of their game 28 days ago.
Well, they're very proud of what they're building here. And Art Modell, talking to him before the game, he's...
And that's now 10 quarters without giving up a touchdown. 3-0 Cleveland after 1.
Starting now, your photographs from today and yesterday have the power of television. Introducing the Kodak Photo CD.
You won't believe your heart. You won't believe your eyes. Your pictures have never been
So powerful.
Your pictures taken with your current film and camera, transferred onto a new kind of compact disc and shown on television. The special photo CD player also plays audio CDs.
Your pictures have never been sweeter, truer, so powerful.
The new Kodak photo CD system. You've got to see it. Imagine a rent-a-car company that offers special delivery right to your door. That's Enterprise.
Here, let me help you.
Enterprise, a special rent-a-car company that gives you special delivery.
I don't believe him. I don't believe him one bit.
I don't believe him. Trust. I don't know much about Clinton except promises.
He tells everybody what they want to hear.
Well, he wants to spend more money, and the only place he can get it is from the taxpayers.
Higher taxes.
Less food on the table.
Broken promises.
Less clothes on the kids' backs.
I don't know how we can take any more taxes.
Less money to go to the doctor.
He's raised taxes in Arkansas, he'll raise taxes here.
Just less of everything.
You can't be president and not sit down with Larry King. You can't be Larry King and not sit down with Mike Wallace. Tonight on 60 Minutes.
Well, that was a fast first quarter as Cleveland controlled the football for 9.5 minutes on the game's opening drive, getting a field goal from Matt Stover. Green Bay now has it 1st and 10 to start the second from its own 40. Darrell Thompson is the single back. Barr wanted to set up a screen. It wasn't there. And Frank Mitterfield on the hit at the 43-yard line.
Man-for-man coverage again that time. He tried to escape from the pocket, didn't have any place to throw the ball. Good coverage downfield. Mitterfield came over there and made a good play.
Well, the Packers, Hank, have had trouble starting out on the road in the early stages of the road games. Mike Holmgren says that's a sign of a young team. They have 22 new faces on this roster. 2nd down and 7. Here's Thompson's first carry of the season. And a good one for about 6 near the first down. And we've got another update. We've got an update on Tampa Bay and Chicago coming your way.
All right, Jim, at Soldier Field, the Bears are on the board again. Jim Harbaugh to Brad Muster, a 1-yard touchdown. Muster's 2nd touchdown of the day, and the Bears are up by 14 on Tampa Bay in the 2nd quarter, Jim.
All right, Tampa Bay, they had trouble for a long time winning on the road before they finally got that victory at Detroit. Third down and 2. Workman has returned. Workman gets the carry, and he has the first. The Packers have activated today Don Majkowski. Not that he'd been on injured reserve, but he'd been the inactive player in recent games. But Majkowski will be in there for placements, and Ty Detmer now is on one of the 2 inactives.
Yes, I talked to Don before the game, and he said he's making good progress, but he's definitely going to hold for the kicker this afternoon, and that's one of the reasons why he's in that position.
Inactive for the last 3 games, and the Magic Man will back up far. 7th play of the drive, 1st down for Green Bay. Ball is deflected. I think Perry got a hand on it. Michael Dean Perry. Reminds me of an oddity about Brett Favre. His first NFL pass was caught by himself.
Watch Perry, number 92. And there you see the left arm come up. He knocks the ball down. He wasn't very deep in the pocket, tried to get rid of the ball quickly, and as a result, couldn't throw over the arm of Perry.
How about that, Hank, though? Your first pass in the NFL, and it comes back, and you catch it yourself.
That's a great trivia question, isn't it?
It is.
It will be.
Happen to lose a lot of yardage on that particular play. 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. Play action. Workman wide open. 1st down and more. Banging heads down at the 30-yard line. Out of bounds. bumped out by Terry Taylor.
I tell you, that was a great play by Brett, the young quarterback. And now play action fake. He took a quick look downfield, and look at the touch with which he threw the ball here. Look at this. He sees him and gets rid of the ball perfectly, makes the catch, and makes a big play out of a play that maybe wouldn't have been any kind of yardage at all.
And Vince Workman, 31 receptions coming into the game. That's tops for all running backs in the NFL.
And that's typical of the 49er offense. Now the Green Bay offense, they dump it off and let the guy run with it for big yardage.
After 19 yards, here's the first down. Harry Sidney for about 2. Harry Sidney was placed on waivers by the Niners on September the 1st after 5 years with that team. And had a baby girl. His wife had a baby girl on Tuesday. So congratulations, Harry Sidney.
And they like him very much because he's in step and in tune with the offense, because he played the same kind of an offense, of course, for the 49ers.
Second down and 9 from the 29. 11.5 minutes to go in the first half. 3-0 Cleveland. Pro set formation with Workman and Sidney. Play action. Look out. Here they come. And Favre holds on to it as Vince Newsom on the blitz gets the quarterback for a big loss.
See, there's a great illustration again, Jim. I hate to keep bringing up the same point, but they had 8 guys. It was an 8-man line. A play action pass is not good against an 8-man line because you can't block everybody. Watch 22 in the left part of your screen. Watch him come and blitz here. Look at all the people. He gets a free shot from the backside. Brett doesn't even see him. He sees the linebacker come up the middle, Johnson, but he doesn't see the back coming from the backside and gets a sack on the play.
Loss of 11.
You got to change the play on that kind of a situation to get everybody blocked.
3rd and 20, and Favre calls timeout. So each team has burned a timeout. Cleveland leading 3-0.
If you've discovered that suddenly you could use a little more room, discover just how much more room there is in the all-new 1993 Toyota Corolla, and discover Corolla again.
Ace is a place for helpful hardware folks and Best Buys like these.
This Ace 24-inch poly lawn rake is only $3.99, and the 25-foot Ace tape rule is just $6.88.
Ace Best Buy.
Another reason Ace is the place.
For you.
Time to think about life insurance? Let your Allstate agent work it out on paper. Everything from mortgage protection to a plan for a breezy retirement. Let your Allstate agent be your agent for life. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Cut a non-alcoholic brew tastes so much like beer, it'll fool them out. For the taste of beer, let the cutter flow. Your body knows the difference, but the mouth don't know. Oh, taste Coors Cutter. Your body knows the difference, but the mouth don't know. Oh, taste Coors Cutter. Your body knows the difference. Cutter tastes like beer because it's brewed like beer, but the mouth don't know.
This game summary is sponsored by Cutter.
Well, Stover's field goal, the only points in this game, although Green Bay was threatening on this drive, facing a long 3rd and 20. Total yards, the edge goes to the Browns by virtue of that opening series. 3rd and 20 from the Cleveland 40. 11th play of this drive for the Packers. Over the head of Thompson.
They had a rush. In a 3-deep zone, they had a big rush from the outside. The hands came up. He tried to throw it over the top. It was way too high because of the hands, and it goes incomplete.
So that sack took the Packers out of field goal range. They'll bring in Paul McJulian
You can't, if you got a play action pass and you get 8-man front, you've got to change the play at the line of scrimmage to get maximum security so you can get the ball upfield and then get a big play, change it to a pocket pass. Play action is very difficult because you can't fade the backside.
Oh, they almost got to McJulian. Fair catch at the 15. Stephen Moore almost got the block.
Here's the kick coming off. Look at that. Had he gone out in front just a little bit longer, a little farther, he'd have been able to block that kick. He was able to get the ball underneath the hands.
Hank, tonight, Game 2 of the World Series. Back in Atlanta, Toronto and the Braves, with Atlanta winning last night 3-1. Starting pitchers, by the way, David Cone will go for Toronto, and John Smoltz for the Atlanta Braves. Game 2, the World Series tonight. And there's home plate at Cleveland Stadium. Don't they wish they could get a World Series here with the Indians sometime soon, huh?
Oh, yeah. They've been wishing that for a long time.
Yeah. Last one, I think, for the Indians was 1954. So, from the 15, here come the Browns leading 3-0. Metcalf in the backfield. Horde lined up as a receiver at the bottom of your screen. Tomczak looking for Horde. Oh, almost had the diving catch at the 25.
That time they had double tight end. They had man on man and outside one-on-one. It's a good formation because you get a hat on everybody on the run, and also you get maximum security with the pass. The pass was thrown just a little bit too low and falls incomplete.
Once again, the story on Tomczak. He started the last 7 games of '91 for the Packers, but held out during camp, and once he finally came to terms and reported, for about 8 days, they did not even give him any reps with the offensive team. He had to play on the scout team. Eventually, he was waived and then signed by the Browns. Metcalf is a receiver to the left on 2nd and 10. Rollout time for Tomczak. Good pass at the 27. Michael Jackson holding on to that bullet for 13 yards.
This time he moves the pocket. A 3-deep zone that time. Watch him roll to his right. So he goes back and rolls to his right. Good protection on the outside. He stops and has plenty of time to see the receiver, Jackson, coming back inside on a curl move. He makes the catch, and they get out of the soup, so to speak. And again, they had 5 defensive backs that time and played a zone defense.
Michael Jackson was Brett Favre's favorite target at Southern Mississippi. And now here they are on opposite sides of the field today. 1st and 10. On the bootleg, Galbraith has the pass from Tomczak. Interesting, he kind of fell to the ground and came right back up out of that kneeling position. Scott Galbraith.
There again, as a bootleg play. Bootleg meaning that the backs go one way and the quarterback goes the opposite direction. You get the defense flowing with the backs, and as a result, you hit the receiver coming from the strong side back to the weak side. He was wide open, and they pick up a nice gain on the play. But there's a great illustration how efficient and effective play-action passes can be when you're succeeding with the run.
Wolfley back in on a wing to the left. Back in the backfield on 1st and 10.
Offense.
They did not beat the down clock. They weren't even that close. So it'll be 1st and 15 from the 38.
That's a bad mistake. But if it was a bad mistake, if it was a mistake, which it had to be, it's better to make that kind of a play than run the play if somebody doesn't know what the play is and blow more yardage than a penalty.
They'll have to hurry again. They're still in the huddle. Under 10 seconds to go on the town clock. Now they come to the line on 1st and 15. Just barely beating the down clock by a half second. Metcalf. Boy, he'll run in a hurry, won't he? To the 46. Chuck Cecil with the jarring tackle.
And they had a blitz by Noble, number 91, up the middle, and so as a result, he eliminates himself from pursuit angles, and you should be able to make good outside yardage on that kind of a play. Now, they had an advantage to the left side. They've had about 3 plays like that where they had the advantage. They call the right play, running the ball outside, and Metcalf is murdered once he gets in the open field, and you have to make an open field tackle on him.
2nd down and 7. It's an 8-yard run by Metcalf. Now they come with Mack. Right to the 50. 2-time Pro Bowler Kevin Mack. He runs so hard, Hank, that last week against Pittsburgh, 3 Steelers were injured on plays where Mack carried the football with the punishing blow that he delivers as the runner.
Well, he's got a good center of gravity and good leverage, and he runs very, very hard, and he sees a cavity of any kind. He's going to attack that hole, and if somebody's in that hole, they're going to suffer the consequences, because normally he goes in the pile and usually comes out the other end.
3rd and 3. They might go to Mack right here. Under 7 minutes to play in the first half. Here is Mack. First down run by Kevin Mack. Jay Hilgenberg with a good block.
Good push on the outside from the right side of the offensive line. Let's take a look to our left there. Look at the push. Look at the blocking. Look at the nice hole. And Cecil comes up to make the tackle from the outside, but doesn't get a real good shot, but he still makes the tackle.
Time of possession almost double for a team, Cleveland, that was next to last in the league in time of possession coming in. Mack. Another hard run to the 38. Fike and Galbraith clearing the way on the right side.
Butler, number 36, makes a good tackle. You talk about high-speed collision. High-speed collision. Watch this. Watch 36. 36 in the white. Watch this. Well, it isn't quite as good as I thought it was, but it was still a good tackle. I thought he'd get a better hit than that.
Well,
but it was still an excellent tackle by Butler.
Chuck Cecil in on the back end of that. You know when you've been hit by him. 2nd and 3. Pump fake. Great time for Tom Zach. Oh, dangerous pass, though. Vinnie Clark was the closest player to it.
That was a 3-deep zone. Zone meaning that the 3 deep back there have a third of the field. They're playing areas instead of the man. But once a guy gets in his zone, why, it becomes man for man. You know, Mike Holgram, talking to him yesterday, he's very candid, as I mentioned earlier, very honest, and we talked about Tom Zach. He said, you know, really, I like Mike. He's got great leadership qualities. He was going to make our team, but because he delayed the contract, we had to cut him.
The other players got a lot of reps, like Ty Detmer. 3rd and 3. Oh, there were 2 Browns in the area. Galbraith may have taken the pass away from Bavaro.
Yeah, 3 deep zone, and the timing of that pattern was handicapped a little bit because Tom Zach, we talked about the turf. Look at, he stumbles here, slips, loses his balance, takes a lot of time. He still gets the ball off, but almost to the wrong people.
So they bypass what would be about a 55-yard field goal, even though Matt Stover had one from that distance last year. Longest in the AFC in '91. They will punt instead with Hansen. And 2 Packers are back deep. Patrick Taylor and Robert Brooks. And they'll take a delay of game. Give Hansen a little more room.
Offense.
Brian's a very good kicker, too. He comes into the game with a 44-yard average. What
a find he was from a scout back in 1984 from Iowa's Sioux Falls Baptist College, a school with 800 students. And again, as we mentioned, tied the NFL high, leads the AFC for punts inside the 20. They declined the penalty in Green Bay, and here's the pooch. Hansen looking for his second punt inside the 20, won't get it. Touchback out to the 20. 3-0 Cleveland. That's all. 5:19 left in the first half.
Well, look who's here.
Morning, Dennis.
Looks like you did all right. Yeah, not bad. We need 6 good ones for tonight.
Your brother's coming.
Better make it 8. Look at that lobster. Don't worry, Scott. We got a couple for you.
Everybody gets involved. This dinner doesn't need a thing.
Wait, it gets better.
Chardonnay.
Has the lobster ever tasted this good?
It's the time of year.
No, it's the wine.
Ernest and Julio Gallo present a very special Chardonnay. It's time for a change to Gallo.
Why do people really like Toyota Paseo? Take this home lie detector test. I like Paseo because A, it's practical, has a driver's side airbag, or B, women dig it. A, it has 100 horsepower performance, or B, women dig it. A, Paseo starts under $11,500, or B, women dig it. Paseo, a very practical car from Toyota.
Excuse me, the printer on your desk there, it's an HP LaserJet. Why?
Never really thought about it.
Well, look, somebody obviously thought about it. Somebody with a firm commitment to excellence, right?
Probably. Everyone here has an HP LaserJet printer.
And the fact that you don't think about your HP LaserJet kind of proves just how dependable it is, doesn't it?
That's a leading question. Are you an attorney?
Are you?
Yes. This is a law firm.
There you have it from an attorney at a leading law firm. HP LaserJet printers. If it isn't a LaserJet, it's only a laser printer.
They're fighting drug gangs,
Possession of crack cocaine.
and it's tearing their town apart.
They're setting us up for something.
Carol O'Connor, Howard Rollins in the heat of the night. Premieres after the World Series.
Jim Nantz along with Hank Stram. The drizzle continues at Cleveland Stadium. Very light mist, in fact. And it's 1st and 10 for Green Bay, trailing 3-0 from its own 20.
And here's where the turf is bad, Jim. You think they'll probably run the ball straight ahead if they run.
Workman makes the catch, but only a 1-yard gain. David Brandon was right there with him.
And the Packers so far have had 14 plays, Jim. 38 yards, averaging 2.7 per play. Not very good.
Cowboys' Emmitt Smith scoring a touchdown to make that one 14-3, but Kansas City is driving. 2nd down and 8. Give them 2 yards on that pass play. Workman and Thompson both in the backfield. Favre. Oh, actually that was Sidney in the backfield, but he could not hold on.
A 3-deep zone, and I think Brett that time tried to guide the ball, try to steer it in there, aim it in there, and it goes too low. He really, actually, what he did, he held the ball a little bit too long, and that's why it went low. Anytime you see the quarterback release the ball that low, you know he held it too long. If it goes high, he released it too soon.
Interesting stat for Green Bay. Their 2 wins, or 2 and 3, their 2 wins were both against AFC Central opponents. They beat Cincinnati and they beat Pittsburgh. 0-3 against the NFC. 3rd and 8. Wide open. That's Beach. And Sanjay Beach to the 40-yard line. Rob Burnett took Favre down to the ground, Hank, after he released it.
Yeah, I had a lot of protection on the play. We were really pretty good, but right about the time he released the ball, look at this, from the backside, he gets a shot, but he got the ball right on the money. We'll take another good look at the hit by the quarterback. Look, it's from the concentrating downfield, get hit from the blind side. The old sandwich, the old peanut butter sandwich right there.
Brandon and Burnett. 1st and 10. Good balance, by the way, by Beach after he made the catch. Workman darting and falling for about 3.
Brett is doing a good job of faking after he hands off the ball. He's going away from where the ball went. It doesn't look like the defensive end of the Browns is paying much attention to that, so he might look for a bootleg with him faking that same play, rolling out to his right, and taking advantage of the pursuit of the defensive left side of the Browns.
2nd and 7. 3 minutes to go and a little more in the first half. From the 43. Favre wanted to dump it across the middle. Now comes back out. Has an open man. It's Jackie Harris down to the 40 of Cleveland. So improvising, Favre to Harris, picks up the first at 18 yards.
Good quickness and a good read on the part of the young quarterback. He's back in the pocket and makes a quick decision. Look at, he's going to throw the ball. He runs out of the pocket, gets rid of the ball with a good touch. Shows a lot of poise for a young quarterback. Under control throughout that play.
Harris had 6 catches in the last game against Atlanta, and he supplanted Ed West at tight end to start the game. West had a string of 40 straight starts prior to today. First down from the 40. Favre almost intercepted. Oh, that would have been 6 for Turner. Throwing to Sterling Sharp, Hank.
Yeah, he was, and he looked the ball to Sharp all the way. As a result, the defensive back read it. It took him right to the receiver, and he almost made the interception.
Hank, fewest touchdowns allowed by a team. Cleveland tied with the Saints with the lowest total, only allowing 6. And again, it's been 10+ quarters since they gave up a touchdown. During that time, they have allowed 9 field goals, but no touchdowns.
Well, Belichick did a great job with the defense of the New York Giants, and he's bringing that same attitude to this defense here in Cleveland.
2nd and 10 pass play, back to Harris for about 7. We've reached the 2-minute warning. That might have the Packers in field goal range. They trail by 3 with 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Young, rich. Let me see. And smart. Just look at the car.
Well, he didn't get where he is by throwing his money away.
At $78.48, the Toyota Tercel has a standard driver's side airbag, and it's the lowest priced 2-door sedan you can buy.
Here comes his broker.
Maybe it's his agent.
Excuse me. Is that your car? Sure is. Well, it's blocking my driveway.
I think he's complimenting him on his unpretentiousness.
He's so cool.
Rust. What it can do to the outside of your car. Weak, neglected antifreeze can do to the inside. You need the tough anti-corrosion formula of Prestone. Use fresh Prestone every year to give your radiator and cooling system heavy-duty rust and corrosion protection. No matter what happens to the outside, Prestone protects the inside. Prestone stops the rust.
Field goal for Matt Stover from 26 yards. But now Green Bay is in field goal range. Each team with 2 timeouts. It'll be a long-range field goal from this point. From the 34, it'll be 3rd and 4 for the Packers. Down the sideline, but out of bounds at the 27. That's good enough for a first.
You know, one thing about talking to Brett yesterday, I asked him, you throw 3 kinds of passes: pocket passes, play action passes, and rollouts. Which of the 3 do you like the best? He said, I definitely like pocket passing, and it looks like he likes it better because he's been a lot more efficient throwing from the pocket than he has from play action so far in this game.
He's a kid who was a wishbone quarterback in high school. Played for his father. Mississippi.
And while he was a wishbone quarterback, he was always wishing that he could throw from the pocket.
Threw only about 60 passes a season.
That included the pregame warm-up.
1st and 10, and they run it with Thompson. Thompson to the 22. Did he fumble?
Fumble.
Cleveland says it has it. Yes. Browns recover. Recovery by Mike Johnson, who has stripped a couple of big ones this season, including the one against Pittsburgh last week at the end. This time he gets the recovery.
Watch the pursuit here now. Watch this. Watch the Browns. They hit. They use their hands good. Pursuit from the backside. There's Perry coming to the backside. Watch this hit. As he got hit, why the ball popped out of there and recovered by Johnson of the Browns.
May have been the impact of Brandon's blow that knocked the ball loose, but nonetheless, Cleveland has it with an injury timeout, 1:48 to go in the first half. Johnson on the recovery.
A look behind the scenes as sports and science converge, brought to you by AT&T. Recreational whitewater kayaking has become a widely popular sport. The kayaks must be tough and durable, yet lightweight. Some plastic boats are manufactured with a gyroflow process. Plastic polyethylene powder is poured into the kayak mold, which rotates along its long axis to distribute the plastic. While the plastic is heated, a unique additional arc-like rotation is programmed to strengthen the boat for river running in the roughest water.
Cal-Crew Painting wasn't saving what they'd hoped since leaving AT&T. Schoenstein Pipe Organ Builders was having trouble getting long-distance calls through on the first try. So like thousands of other businesses, they've come back to AT&T, and we want you back. Switch now and we'll give you credit for 1 month of long distance. And we'll pay to switch you back if you're not completely satisfied. We want you back. Call 1-800-222-0400.
A 1993 Toyota 4x4. Nothing else comes close.
Well, here's the fumble a moment ago. Darrell Thompson running.
And Perry chasing to the backside, 92. Now look at, he goes into the pile, and it looks like really the ground caused the fumble. It looks like he hit, and then the ball popped loose. That's a questionable call, Jim.
Green Bay leads the league in fumbles, having fumbled now 17 times. And there's another one right back, and Millard falls on it for Green Bay. It was Leroy Horde who fumbled, and Green Bay gets it back one play later. How about that?
It's amazing, isn't it? You get an opportunity like that, and then you give it right back. There's another look at it. The ball pops loose. There it is, rolling on the ground.
And the injured player, by the way, for Green Bay a play ago was Tootie Robbins. And he is getting some work on the bench. So Harvey Salem comes in at right tackle. We'll watch him, number 72, in for his first play of the day, in for Robbins. Wet, soggy conditions and back-to-back fumbles. But Green Bay from the 25 with Workman. Spinning. He fumbled. He fumbled right back.
Oh, my. That's unbelievable, isn't it?
Did they rule him down? Hold on. No, Cleveland football. Incredible.
I don't know whether the ball is that wet because of the turf or what it is, Jim. Let's take a look at it again.
Brandon on the recovery.
You can't believe this. Now here watch. The exchange is good. He runs to the right side. And you can't tell how the ball popped out of there, but it did.
3 plays, 3 fumbles, and a timeout on the field.
This man's incredibly close, comfortable shave comes from the Norelco razor. But to see how he got it, we must go back to when he began shaving. Not just above the skin, but below it. Here, our lift and cut system lifts the hair so when it's cut, it can drop below skin level without the blades touching your face. Try it, and you'll keep going back to Norelco for a perfect shave. Norelco, we make close comfortable.
Hey, get comfortable.
Floor shine,
A jillion tiny air bubbles make ComfortTech lightweight and super flexible. Casual look, the looks is dressy. Get comfortable.
Need a fresh start? Get the battery that's proven to start over 50,000 times. Motorcraft. Motorcraft quality parts from Ford.
Yo, guys, this is Yogi. You can't top the Pringles pop. The taste is top.
Pringles? I haven't tried them in years.
Pringles taste better than these bag chips. Check it out, yo.
I'll believe it when I believe it.
So?
I believe it. They taste better.
Yeah. Observe. Bag chips feel greasy.
Grease don't taste good. Taste tastes good.
Yeah! Now watch the problem here. Watch him. He's going through the hole. And now he tries to change the ball. You don't change the ball in traffic. He spins. And Perry is backing into him and jars the ball loose and makes the fumble.
3 plays, 3 fumbles in 15 seconds. And now here comes Cleveland, 1st and 10. And no fumble. How about that? There's a news bulletin for you. Kevin Mack for 1 yard.
There's a scoop. There's a scoop, Jim. No fumble.
Keith Millard on the hit, and the Browns will hurry. 1:15 to go in the half. The Browns have 2 timeouts, leading 3-0. 2nd and 9. Looks like John Reenstra jumped on the left side.
False start, number 66, offense before the snap.
Yeah, it was Jones.
2nd down.
Jones who jumped on the play, Jim, anticipating the rush of the lineman, and he jumps off sides.
It's only the 4th penalty called in this game. But still, more penalties than points.
You know, the other amazing thing about it, we talked about a minute ago, they've only had 3 fumbles coming into this game and only lost 1.
2nd and 14. 1:10 to go in the half. Mack got to the outside, and Cecil cuts him under at the 30-yard line.
Did you see Mack try to hit him and hammer him with the right arm as he went by Cecil on the play? As Cecil made the hit, I should say.
It's a timeout on the field. Called by the Packers. They have 1 remaining.
Yep, I'm part of the management team now, Mama.
Oh, baby, I'm so proud of you.
It's only afternoons.
But still, it's a promotion.
I gotta get back to work.
Guess what, Anna?
Calvin is the new manager at McDonald's.
Straight up.
Cal's been honored at Mickey D's, so they gave him his properties.
He owns a McDonald's and just got his property.
For real?
Calvin?
Calvin, they used to hang out on the corner?
So you own McDonald's?
No, not yet.
Actually, the Packers are left with no timeouts in the first half. They've used their last one. There's Bernie Kosar, probably out for about another 3 weeks, Hank.
Yeah, he indicated, we had a nice visit with him yesterday, and he's the doctors say he might be a little longer than that, but his forecast is really anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks.
Amazingly, fractured an ankle in the Monday night game against Miami and played the rest of the way without even knowing it. 3rd and 5, 54 seconds to go in the half. No chances here. Mack stacked up into the line. Lester Archambault at the 31 made the tackle for the Packers. Green Bay cannot stop the clock. So they can actually run this down all the way to about 2 or 3 seconds and take it to the locker room with a 3-0 lead. Coming up at halftime, Greg and Terry will have the scores and highlights from around the league, including a look at that Philadelphia-Washington game, so critical in the NFC East. Now, they've called timeout on the field, the officials have. Why, I'm not sure. Bob McElwee is the referee today. I thought they could run it down and not snap it until about 3 seconds to go in the half. They've stopped the clock, the officials have, with 14 ticks to go.
They're still having a big discussion about it, and I can't understand what it's all about, Jim. Can you?
No, not at all. And they've since reset now the down clock to 25, which shouldn't be right.
Well, the other thing about it is, had we still had instant replay, they'd really been speaking about how much time this has taken. And now we don't have it. Look at how much time it's taken.
It just seems like there's no reason at all to be holding up the game at this point. The down clock was down to 11. And Millard's going to go into the locker room a little bit early. And
to 16. Reset the 25-second clock to 16.
So they'll reset it to 16. I saw it down to 11 at one time. And now, because of that, Cleveland doesn't even have to snap it again. We hear that Millard's getting x-rays on his right wrist, and that's why they're sending him in early. Yeah, they've got another problem now with the clock because the differential, they reset it, but it went back to what it originally should have been before they somehow called a timeout.
Set the game
official
clock
timeout.
to 14. The 25-second clock to 16.
I thought maybe they heard you were going to bring it back to 11, Jim. You know?
It's a mess. So Millard goes in for x-rays on his wrist. Tootie Robbins, by the way, the word is a sprain on his hip, and uncertain whether he'll be back today.
Tootie was a very good tackler for the Cardinals for a long time.
You know, the thing that is so frustrating here.
The 25-second clock to 16 and the game clock to 14. No?
So what you're going to have is you're going to have no play anyway. So,
yeah, that's right.
It's just a waste of time unless Cleveland wants to cross us all up and snap it.
At 14. Correct.
All right, now they've got the two clocks. I still don't think it's where it was originally.
25-second clock to 14.
I think he's reversed himself a couple of times on this.
Now they're still talking about it.
It's like the Keystone Cops. Good, now we've got it all reset, and we still won't have a play. Timeout called by Tomczak with 1 second to go. Now they're going to try a Hail Mary before the half.
He didn't want to hang it on the bulletin board in the locker room. That's why, so he thought he better use it up.
Now they reset the clock to 2 seconds. San Diego looking for its second straight win and playing on the road at Indianapolis.
They're not that bad a team. I look for them to make some kind of a reversal during the course of this season.
Is that the Chargers?
The Chargers.
Chargers are #1 in the AFC in rush defense, pass defense, total defense. Again, Greg and Terry coming up, scores and highlights at halftime. Plus the latest information from around the league. Here's the last play, barring penalty, before the half. And they have Green Bay offsides. They do. So Mack across the 40 to the 42. Hold on a minute, everybody. All the players are leaving the sideline, and the high school band is about to fire up, but we might have one more play.
Defense offside is declined. The half is over.
I don't know why Cleveland called timeout then. If they wanted to try to get one play before the half, now they get the extra 5 yards, but turn it down.
Turn it down, yep.
So let's call that half over at last. 3-0 Cleveland on a Stover field goal from 26 yards.
This week's lucky winner is Scott Hodgson.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by your Toyota dealer, who invites you to discover the all-new Corolla. Discover Corolla again. The Card, the American Express card. Don't leave home without it. And by Norelco. Norelco patented lift and cut shavers.
Well, the Browns and Packers are 2-3 on the season, trying to get to 500. A mere field goal in the first half, and Cleveland leads 3-0. Back with the third quarter in a moment.
Dean Witter believed every success story was unique.
We have a sacred trust to protect our investors,
Whether it's the success of a small business,
to maintain conservative policies,
saving for college,
to put the interest of our clients first.
or planning an early retirement. From getting in on the ground floor to getting all the way to the top, Dean Witter is there to help every client make it every step of the way. Dean Witter.
We measure success one investor at a time.
Monday, special guest star Adam Ant stumbles into Sicily.
I'm one of your biggest fans.
Did I do you on the Wonderland tour?
And the town might never be the same.
I was wondering if maybe you were influenced by some of the greats, like Hendrix.
Hendrix?
Star Spangled Banner?
He wrote the Star Spangled Banner.
Emmy-winning Northern
Yeah?
Exposure.
Yeah. Hey.
Monday.
Woo!
Reggie Jackson gave us some lasting memories, but if you think he's just collecting cars now, think again. Back in the baseball business. Eye on America tomorrow on the CBS Evening News.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by the Chrysler Corporation. In the car business, you lead, follow, or get out of the way. Cold filtered Keystone, Keystone Light, and Keystone Dry. And by McDonald's. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Welcome back at halftime. 3-0 Cleveland. Stover, 26-yard field goal in the first quarter on the opening possession. That's the only scoring so far, Hank. And there was really one segment that kind of typified that first half, that sequence of 3 fumbles in 3 plays.
Yeah, the triple dip fumbles were
Let's go back through them, Hank, and take a look at the first one.
Here we go. Watch Thompson, he fumbles. He hits the ground on his back. The ball bounces out of there, and they're recovered by Johnson. And then a very next play, Cleveland gives it back. Horde gives the ball back. Look at this. Ball bounces around and recovered by
Keith
the
Millard.
Packers.
Yep, Millard.
Millard. And the very next play, you got Workman carrying the ball, bounces to the right side with the ball in his left arm. He spins, gets it. The ball bounces loose, and another fumble. 3 in a row.
And that's now 11 quarters that Cleveland has gone without giving up a touchdown. As you look at Mike Tomczak, the former Packer, the former Bear, and in the first half, first downs belongs to the Browns. They picked up the bulk of those on their first possession, and they have it in time of possession too by a large margin thanks to that 9.5-minute drive to begin the game.
His Favre, look at this, 6 of 11 for 70 yards, and Tomczak 5 for 12 for 51 yards. If I were Green Bay, I'd be tickled to death to be able to come out at halftime with only a 3-point deficit, the way the Cleveland Browns were able to maintain possession of the clock.
All right, let's look at Mike Holmgren's possessions in the first half. 3 downs and out, a long drive, but they had to punt, and then a fumble and a fumble. So they had it for only 24 plays in the first half. But they'll get it now to start the third quarter as Matt Stover has it on a tee to kick to Edgar Bennett and Robert Brooks. Brooks will not run it out. So Brett Favre, the third-rated quarterback in the NFL, trailing only Randall Cunningham and Steve Young in quarterback ratings in the whole league. He will come out, and will he have a big second half?
You know, one thing that's very obvious in the first half, the Packers, with their great receiver, they never got the ball to him.
Sterling Sharp never did he?
Only 2 times. They only threw the ball to Sharp 2 times in the first half, and if they're going to win this game, they got to get the ball to him in the second half.
Well, they threw it to him twice, but no receptions. The passes were not on the mark. No receptions. Sidney and Workman are the backs. We'll begin with a running play with Workman. Down the line and losing a yard, bumped out by Brandon.
The technique reaction of the Cleveland Browns excellent on the read of the outside play. The Browns really are reacting and pursuing and gang tackling extremely well.
One of the linebackers with Mike Johnson and Clay Matthews. That's a pretty good set of backers. 2nd and 11. There is Sharp. Sterling Sharp's first catch of the day for 5 yards to the 24. Mike Johnson on the hit, right on his back.
You know, the interesting thing about their passing game last week, Brett completed 12 of 16 passes, especially on first down, and 8 of the 12 completions were for 5 yards or less.
In that game against Atlanta, he completed 33 of 43 and had strings of 12 and 10 straight completions. But as Hank pointed out, many of them of the short variety. 3rd, and we'll call it 5. We need a short one here, about 5 yards for the first. Workman has it out to the 35. First down, Green Bay.
The linebacker blitzed up the middle that time, left the middle of the area of the field wide open, and Brett read it very good again. 6 defensive backs, 1 blitzing on the play, but he got their ball to the right guy.
So first down for Green Bay. Chance to see Mikowski today. He is the backup quarterback and the one who will be in holding on the placements.
But he definitely will not play in the game, I don't think, other than hold for the kicker.
No placements needed in the first half. First down, and Favre does not go down. He's a big, strong kid, and he'll slide for the first. He broke away from Anthony Pleasant. There's a blitz in on him, Hank.
Brandon blitzing on the play. Now look at this. This kid yesterday said, well, I'm not much of a runner, but he does a great job here. Escapes that would-be tackler. Brandon goes to the outside, knows where he has to run. He could have gone up the field a little bit farther for more yardage, but used good judgment. Slid right into second base and out of bounds.
Yeah, they said he went out of bounds before he got the first, so it's 2nd and a foot. One guy told us Vinny Testaverde is a strong quarterback, a weight room strong kind of a guy, but Brett Favre is naturally strong, like Bradshaw, big old country boy. And here he hands off to Sidney. He has the first to the 38. Salem is in at right tackle for Tootie Robbins, and now an update on that report. At first they thought it might be a sprained hip. It's a groin pull instead for Robbins, and he's not in there. And the report on Millard, the x-rays have come back, a broken right hand.
Oh, what a tough break.
First down, Green Bay from the 48. Flags are down. There'll be a holding call. James Jones, one of the defenders who helped force them out of the pocket.
That time they were in a 3-deep zone that time, Jim. And evidently good coverage downfield because it forced him out of the pocket and made him run. And again, I'm impressed the way he is running.
Illegal hands to the face, number 72 offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Harvey Salem picked up off waivers from Denver back in August.
Right tackle now. Watch 72. Watch Salem. Gets knocked off, and then he comes back. And you can see him holding there on the left side of the picture.
There's Tootie Robbins. First and 20. Slant pattern and never there. Never open at all, looking for Sanjay Beach. So it'll be second and 20. Minifield on the coverage.
And that was man-for-man coverage again. Minifield is back at his old position and still one of the premier one-on-one cover guys in the National Football League.
Minifield on injured reserve the first month of the season, but back last week after a urinary disorder. Three-time Pro Bowler. Brings a lot of life to this defense. Barry Wilburn joins the secondary for 5 DBs on second down and 20. Sidearms it to Sharp. Tries to make a move on Matthews. It only gets to the 45. It'll be third and long. Cedric Figueroa also in on that play.
The one thing you have to be impressed with is the way Brett stays in the pocket. Very patient, very poised. Look at this now. He stays in the pocket, then he jumps up into the pocket, gets rid of the football. A lot of times, young quarterbacks who have running ability, if they don't see anybody open, they're going to take off or run. That time he saw the receiver and got the ball to him.
Third down and 13. Green Bay trailing 3-0 in the third quarter. Barb to Sharp. Got it. First down at the 35. Terry Taylor was defending. Sharp with 3 catches on this series after not coming up with a reception in the first half. They weren't throwing it his way.
That time they had 5 defensive backs, man-for-man coverage. And again, Favre did a terrific job of getting rid of the football. There was somebody in his face. He got rid of it in spite of that and got the ball downfield.
Hank, you remember yesterday you asked Mike Holmgren, what's the strength of your team? The first thing he said is Sterling Sharp.
And that's why it's important that they get the ball to him as often as they possibly can. People say they're double covering. That's all right. You got to get it to him somehow. Bring him across the middle if it's double cover.
Holmgren called him a true star. And Workman hammered near the 30. Newsom on the hit. Yeah.
Really came up there from the safety position and got him a good hit.
Spotted at the 30. Second down and about 5 with 9 minutes to go. This is a possession for Green Bay, much like the way Cleveland took the opening kick.
Well, talking to Mike early before the game, that's exactly what he said he'd like to do. Would like to be able to run the football, control the clock, and take as much time as he possibly can.
10th play of the drive on second and 5. Pitcher Taylor's in the game. Sidney is hammered right when the ball arrived. David Brandon delivered the blow.
Man-for-man coverage again. Brandon has really had an outstanding afternoon so far. Done a terrific job for the Cleveland Browns.
Brandon's kind of a big play linebacker. Had a fumble recovery. Run back for a touchdown in that Monday night game against the Dolphins. And then last year in an overtime game at San Diego, made an interception and ran it back to win the game. Is that kind of a big play linebacker. 3rd and 5 for the Packers. Timeout called by Favre. Looked across the line and called a timeout. With 8:34 to go in the third quarter, still 3-0 Cleveland.
Well, it's here. Time for me to step down and retire as chairman of Chrysler.
And hey, anybody that goes out wants to go out with a bang. And we've got a bang that'll be heard from Germany to Japan. It's a new car design that's as revolutionary as our minivan was. It's going to change the way cars are designed from now on. We call it cab forward. What we did was move the windshield forward. Then we pulled the rear wheels back, made the rear doors wider and easier to get through, and increased the width. Believe me, this does more than just improve the looks. It gives you a lot more room inside, it rides better, and it's easier to handle. I think cab forward, like our minivan, is going to get copied by everybody. It has to, just because it makes so much sense. You know, I got to tell you, when it's your last turn at bat, it sure is nice to hit a home run.
Wouldn't it be great if you could afford a luxurious mansion? For you and all your friends? Of course, the place needed some updates, like a bowling alley and a pool table. Naturally, you'd have an open house. Food's here! With beer! Harold, do something! Icy, cold-filtered Keystone, Keystone Light, and Keystone Dry. Bottle beer tasted in a can. Now, wouldn't that be great?
Doubleheader day on CBS. Next, you'll see Atlanta and San Francisco. What a key game this is for the Falcons, who are 2-4. They swept San Francisco last year in a couple of wild ones. 39-34, they won at the stick. And then at home, Atlanta won on a Hail Mary on the last play of the game. So they'll be back for the first of 2 games on this season later today on CBS. 3rd and 5. Starting to rain a little bit harder. Green Bay going into the wind. Bard to Beach. Stopped about a yard shy. Frank Minifield would not let him lean for it. Newsom in there also. So it's going to be 4th down, 4th and about a yard.
That last time they had a safety blitz. Turner, number 29, blitzing on the play.
Official timeout to bring out the chains. What do you do here, Hank? They're going to be short. Got to put the 3 points on the board to tie it.
Let's see how short they are. If it's less than a yard, I'd go for it. More than a yard, I'd pump it through there.
Looked like it was about a full yard, Hank. And they bring out Chris Jackie.
Yeah, that's
and
the
here
rule.
Comes the magic man.
That's basically the rule of thumb, and I think he's doing the right thing.
Jackie has missed Magic on the hold. He made only 3 out of 7 field goal attempts without Magic. Favre had been holding for him the last 3 games.
And I asked Favre yesterday, did you hold it with your left hand or right hand? He said, well, that was a problem. Sometimes with the left and sometimes with the right. I'd forget.
Frank Winters will snap it. Jackie from 44 yards to tie it. Well, welcome back, Magic. And the kick is good. 3-3. Jackie from 44 yards midway through the 3rd quarter. 3-3.
Autumn, a time when trees cast new colors. A time for sharing warmth. And at McDonald's, we're doing just that. Sharing the warmth of our new oven-baked apple pies. A cinnamon-dusted crust with golden, delicious apple filling. And now when you buy one, your local McDonald's donates 25 cents to Ronald McDonald Children's Charities, who bring warmth and hope to kids everywhere. Try our new baked apple pie. It's a delicious way to warm your heart.
Investors are returning to traditional values. One investment firm never left them. Smith Barney. They make money the old-fashioned way. They earn it.
Rockport has combined the lightweight comfort of its walking shoe with the rugged performance of its hiking boot. The Discovery Series by Rockport. It wasn't as easy as it looks. Rockport, you should be in our shoes.
Castrol GTX is the only leading motor oil that meets the world's toughest requirements for viscosity breakdown in every grade. This is the only way to get that kind of performance from any other leading brand. Castrol GTX, engineered for today's smaller cars.
You can't be president and not sit down with Larry King. You can't be Larry King and not sit down with Mike Wallace. Tonight on 60 Minutes.
That possession to start the third quarter, suspiciously looking like the Browns' way they started the game, where they drove it down, even took a timeout in that series, and then kicked a field goal. Same goes for the Packers. 3-3 now, midway through the third. Jackie kicks it to Metcalf at the 5. And out to the 27. Let's get an update on the Bears and the Bucks. Then we go back to Greg Gumbel for the story on that one. Greg?
All right, Jim, at Soldier Field, watch Jim Harbaugh hook up with Anthony Morgan and watch the Tampa Bay defensive backs take each other out of the play. It clears the way for Anthony Morgan's 83-yard touchdown. And in the third quarter, the Bears lead the Bucks 21-7, Jim.
Can you believe that? Anthony Morgan had missed a couple of games earlier in the season, and he told Mike Ditka, I can be that breakaway guy, that receiver. I can be the deep threat. At that time, it was just kind of a hapless defensive effort that sprung him free. First and 10, and Cleveland. Ooh, what a run that was by Bardell. Beating Chuck Cecil well past the line of scrimmage. John Reinstra had a good block here, Hank.
Yeah, nothing fancy. He just goes into the hole. Look at the holding a headlock in there too by the left guard. At least it looked like it was. It looked like it might have been Moran. But anyway, good run by Bardell. No messing around, no dancing. Into the hole and straight for the goal line.
Cleveland rushing offense. They're ahead of that total already today, ahead of the average.
They got an advantage to the right side outside if they go outside.
Second and 3, straight ahead. Bardell bounces off the line, off the pile, and gets out to the 45. Touchdown Tommy, they called him at Stanford. He set 6 school records, including 1,000 yards last year.
Okay, watch this now. Good blocking at the point of attack, and he bounces to the outside of the block of the right guard. Moran, and goes into the big hole and makes yardage on the play.
Bardell.
Very good rhythm and eyes on the play.
5 carries for 30 yards. Quickly to Michael Jackson. Good grip by Vinnie Clark. So
yeah, good variety here. You know, they run inside, they run outside. Now they throw a screen outside. It keeps them guessing a little bit.
Bardell goes out, and Mack comes in, 2nd and 9. Metcalf on a wing to the left.
Well, they ought to throw the ball here. They got a lot of guys inside.
Tomczak. Tough pass to Jackson. And Tomczak hit the turf. Matt Brock took him down.
Man-for-man coverage. Watch Tomczak right about the time now he gets rid of the football. He gets a shot inside. A good hit by Brock. Number 62.
Tomczak and Hilgenberg were saying, hey, we really want to look good in this game because next week Green Bay plays Chicago, and our old teammates on the Bears will be watching our game film all week.
Yeah, they've been grading us all week long, so we got to do a good job. It was interesting to hear him say that, wasn't it?
There's Hilge coming right out of position because there was movement by number 62. Brock.
5 yards, 3rd down. Before.
Left side of the screen, we see the encroachment. There it is. Brock, number 62.
Tomczak really owes a great deal to Hilgenberg ending up here in Cleveland. After he was cut, Tomczak, by the Packers, Hilge was going upstairs on a daily basis to Mike Lombardi, trying to get him interested.
Yeah, he wanted 10% too after they signed.
No finder's fee, though, huh? No finder's fee. Tomczak wide open is Jackson inside the 40 and driving to the 34.
Interesting thing about Jackson, talking to the Browns, they said that they went to see Favre in college and looked at a lot of film. Here we see him to the right. Look at this. Goes behind the linebacker, makes the catch right in the middle, and starts upfield. But I was alluding to the story that said that they looked at Favre, and as they were looking at him, they see Jackson. They said, you know, this guy looks very impressive, so they kept looking at the film. They decided they were going to draft him. They liked him so much, and as a result, they drafted him in the 6th round.
Good play action fake. Tomczak throws him, and there's Metcalf at the 15. Sidesteps a defender. What a run to the 4. He broke away initially from Vinnie Clark. 30 yards on that play.
We get another shot of that. Watch the fake. Tomczak faking. Play action fake. Goes back in the pocket. Throws the ball quickly. Gets it. And look at Metcalf in the open field. Boy, he's murdering the open field. He'll make you miss. He finally went back into the field and got tackled. But an excellent play by Eric Metcalf and a good throw by Tomczak.
Lawyer Tillman, watch him. He has good size, lined up at the top of your screen. And Mack is the running back. 1st and goal. Mack outside for the touchdown.
What a good read by Mack. He had the option to go inside or outside, depending on what the tackle did on the right side. He went right up there and it cut to the outside, went in the run, molested for the touchdown. Great run. Here we see a replay of it here. Go right side. Look, he goes inside. Good blocking at the point of attack, but he breaks outside. And right on the goal line gets hit, but not strong enough to stop the play. Goes in for the touchdown. A great run by Mack.
Stover. 10-3 Cleveland. 3:54 to go in the 3rd quarter. So the game is starting to open up a little bit. Browns with the game's first touchdown.
Interpretation of the original. Ooh, what's this?
She sees my V6. Oh, buy me, please buy me. Ooh, she likes my spoiler, my low-profile tires, sports suspension. She wants me. Uh-oh, she thinks I'm too expensive. I can fix that.
Perfect.
Ow!
Duster, a lot to love for under 10,000 from Chrysler Plymouth.
I'm so happy.
My boyfriend will love it.
I'm so unhappy.
He said he was never drafted. Then he admitted he was drafted. Then he said he forgot being drafted. He said he was never deferred from the draft. Then he said he was. He said he never received special treatment, but he did receive special treatment. The question then was avoiding the draft. Now, for Bill Clinton, it's a question of avoiding the truth.
Game 1, the Braves fans had something to cheer about with an Atlanta win. The Blue Jays try to even it up in Game 2 of the World Series tonight on CBS.
Watch Wolfley coming in motion in here like a block, and watch Bavaro there. He reads it and goes into the end zone for the touchdown. Great run by the ball carrier, Kevin Mack. Watch it. Look at the block by Bavaro. He jumps inside just enough to help the block for the tight end. Breaks it outside. Great read, good vision. And good execution on the play for the touchdown by Kevin Mack.
Kevin Mack's 49th career touchdown. 73-yard drive, and the Browns lead 10-3. Squib kick down to Brooks to the 25. Redskins have added a field goal, so has Dallas. Dallas got one from Lynn Elliott from 39 yards. Let's check the Packers. They moved the football. Their best drive of the day on the first series of this third quarter. Quarterback who led him from behind against Cincinnati. Sharp is coming on in the second half. Bootleg. Harris. First down in about 14 yards.
There again, Favre rolling to his left. Had some pressured a little bit, but he still had the poise to throw the ball and make the completion. Now watch this again. Not a very good fake at all, but look at the guy's right in his face, and he dumps the ball off in good shape. Whereas maybe another young quarterback that didn't have as much ability and poise would not make that kind of a play.
Sharp goes out wide to the left. Sidney and Workman in the backfield, 1st and 10. Workman. Hit high by Newsome, and Johnson was getting him around the legs. Workman is quite a story, Hank. He felt at one time when they had an exhibition game in late August against the Rams. Greg Bell had a pretty good day that day. He thought he might get cut. Now he's got over 300 yards on the season coming in here, and he's been a big part of the Packers offense.
Oh yeah, they like him very much, and justifiably so.
That's 68 yards from scrimmage today. Pump fake, here he is, Workman into Cleveland territory. And Sharp wanted to throw a block, but wisely backed off of it because he would have clipped Minifield.
And Favre showed a lot of poise that time, making a pump like he's going to look in the other direction and throw the ball, and throws it right on the stick. Here we see him again. Look at this, looking, and then he looks inside and gets rid of the ball nicely.
Watch Sharp back off the possible clip.
Good judgment on his part, because had he hit him in the back, it would have been a clip.
From the Cleveland 40. It was a 17-yard play. Workman, double whammy, but holds on inside of the 20. That's a 22-yard play to Workman.
Right down the middle of Workman. There you see him, pops right, and he throws the ball nicely right over the linebacker. Right over the top of the linebacker. The only place you could throw it and make that reception, that's where he got the ball.
6 catches for 77 yards for Workman. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. He was tied for second in the NFC with Sharp coming in for receptions, only trailing Mike Pritchard of Atlanta. First down play, rolling out far. About 9. Stops the clock with 37 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Look at this, inside the 20, Jim.
Can you believe that? 3 touchdowns is all in 17 opportunities by the opposition. And again, as we near the end of the third quarter, it's been, what, 10 quarters plus, almost on the brink of 11 quarters without allowing a touchdown.
This would be a big test for them right here.
Actually make that 11 on the brink of 12 quarters. Second down. And down to the 9 line is Sidney. Might demand a look at the chains. Stopped for a measurement, I believe, with 1 second to go in the third quarter. First and goal for the Packers. Now we'll run out the clock in the third quarter. So Cleveland now extends its streak to 12 quarters without allowing a touchdown, but it's in danger of being broken as we embark on the fourth quarter. 10-3 Cleveland through 3 quarters.
It's a refreshing taste from a cold, cold place. Yeah, it's easy going down from the very first round. Pure as can be, it's a natural, you see. Wow. It's smooth, smooth, silver bullet smooth. Yeah, well, that's our story. Now it's your call. Cold Coors Light is the right bin now. That's all. Bye-bye.
The most innovative design to come down the runway isn't in Paris. It's the new Pittsburgh International Airport, where every day, nearly 500 U.S. air flights come together at the world's most modern connecting terminal. If you think Paris is sophisticated, wait till you see Pittsburgh. USA begins with you.
If your ordinary drill could be a Black & Decker limited edition, it would have 30% more power and a keyless chuck for easy bit changes. Then you'd have no ordinary drill. You'd have a Black & Decker limited edition.
When what you eat and drink gives your stomach a surprise, you want a medicine that works directly on your stomach. Pepto-Bismol. As it coats, Pepto delivers powerful medicine right where you hurt. Pepto-Bismol.
You are watching the National Football League on CBS Sports.
A Kevin Mack touchdown run is the difference as we start the fourth quarter. Cleveland leading 10-3. Jim Nantz and Hank Stram with you. Overcast Cleveland skies and a light mist in the air. Hank?
Well, this is a tough place to do business, Jim, because the field is very soft. And you're in the gumbo, so to speak. You got to run straight ahead. Play action passes would also be good. It's a burden on the defense. Very helpful, beneficial offensively because the defense really can't get off the mark as quickly in this area of the field.
Green Bay, first and goal from the 9. Favre in trouble. Buried back at the 12 by Burnett and Jones.
Didn't have much running room that time, man-for-man coverage. Sharp, 84, is yelling for the ball. Look at him in the flat area. There he is, wide open, but he doesn't see him.
Second
the pocket really caved in on him there too, Jim. Good job by Cleveland.
Second and goal, ball back at the 12-yard line, 13. Workman from the backfield, and Brandon in on him in a hurry. Incomplete. He saw Brandon coming.
He saw him. You could see, he could tell there was pressure on Brandon coming from the inside and didn't make the catch. But here again, we talked about that earlier, Jim. You got to run the ball. If you're going to run it straight ahead, which they haven't done, they've thrown twice. But in conjunction with that, play action passes are much better. Now it's third down. The play action, of course, is a lot better on first down.
Brooks is in at the bottom of your screen, Sharp to the right. They don't have a shotgun formation in their offense. Third and goal from the 13. Bubble on the snap. Ball is free, and I think Sidney has it. He does indeed. Harry Sidney on the recovery. It'll just back up the Jackie field goal attempt a little longer. Jackie has connected on his only attempt of the day, a 44-yard kick in the third quarter. This one will be inside of 40 yards. It'll be 37 yards for Chris Jackie. Murkowski on the hold. The kick is perfect. 10-6. The Cleveland lead is trimmed to 4, opening minute of the fourth quarter.
We had bought Japanese products 5 times, and over the past 12 months or so, the maintenance bills just got to be out of hand.
So this is your new van?
It sure is. You like it?
Boy, that's something. What is this?
Chrysler Town & Country.
I felt pretty strongly about giving America another chance. Chrysler seems to have really been improving their product, and that was exactly what we wanted.
With over 3 million sold, Chrysler's minivans have been a part of more lives than all other minivans combined.
The national debt. It is a massive storm that is clouding America's future. An ill wind that is destroying jobs. It is a debt so enormous that it will take 1/3 of the federal income tax collected this year just to pay the interest. $199 billion in interest that could be used to create jobs, but will only be lost in the storm. When will it end? When we choose a candidate who understands that deficit spending is an irresponsible act of government, not an uncontrollable act of nature. A proven business leader who will work with the free enterprise system rather than play politics. The candidate is Ross Perot. The issue is the national debt. The choice is yours.
Hank, the teams have had 3 total possessions in the second half. 2 by Green Bay. They scored on both of their possessions. And Cleveland got a touchdown the only time it's had it here in the second half.
And they had a very impressive drive, too, didn't they?
They really did. Drove it over 70 yards. The Browns did for a touchdown. They're about to get the football again, leading 10-6. Metcalf is the deep man. Eric Metcalf. Jackie's kick bounces at the goal line. They'll down it. And we'll remind you that tonight, Game 2 of the World Series. Boy, don't they go crazy down in Atlanta. And I'm sure Toronto will be just as excited when games 3, 4, and 5 go up north on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We'll have all, of course, the World Series right here on CBS. Cone and Smoltz tonight. The starting pitchers, the Braves, winning the opener last night by the score of 3-1. All right, here comes Cleveland with Tom Zach. Both teams trying to get that treasured third win to be 3-3 on the year. Bardell is the single back. He'll run it, but only for a yard. Brian Noble knocked him down along with Danny Noonan.
Noble reacts very well as stuff right at him. He's a terrific pillar of that hole.
You know, he played only 1 down against Atlanta because they had to counter that red gun attack, and it took him out.
And he didn't like it either.
Well, I'm sure not.
He wants to dance every dance, not occasionally. Got an advantage on the left side if they would run left side. Now they're bringing the guy in motion. They take away that advantage.
2nd and 9, and Wolfley makes the catch. And taken out by Cecil. Ron Wolfley's first catch as a Brown, former Cardinal.
Here we see Wolfley coming off into the right flat. There you see, gets the head around, makes the catch, gets the ball away from pressure, and is knocked out of bounds. But the big thing is, he caught the ball. That's the important thing.
This guy Wolfley, Hank, 4 times he's played in the Pro Bowl, all because of his special teams play.
And he used to do a good job for the Cardinals here.
Picked him up plan B from the Cardinals in the offseason. 3rd down and 3. Mack running hard, and he's going to be near the first. Did they give him any part of the 30-yard line? Let's see on the spot. All he has to do is touch the 30-yard line. And he's got it. 1st down for Cleveland.
Wolfley that time on the wing is in motion to the right, tries to make a trap block on the inside. Got enough of a push from the offensive lineman on the left side, and he got the yardage.
Saw a glance of Bill Belichick in his 2nd year. He's won 8 and lost 13. He took over a team that in 1990 was 3-13. They called their highlight film that year Escape from the Season from Hell. That was the name of their highlight film, truly. And then last year, Belichick's first year, they called the highlight film Restore the Pride. 1st down pass to Jackson, and that'll be good enough for another 1st down. Michael Jackson at the 43.
He got a good shot there. The offensive line coming off the ball. Good protection. Tomczak has plenty of time to step, throw, follow through. That's what he's got to do. Here we watch it now. Look at the good blocking at the point. At the play action pass. Good blocking up front. Plenty of time to step forward, follow through, and get the ball right where it had to be thrown, right at the number.
Spotted near the 44. Jackson with 4 catches. First down.
They got a hole straight ahead over the right guard. See if they run there.
They do. Taking it a little outside of that hole is Mack for about 3.
Yeah, had he hit a little tighter, I think he would have had more of an opportunity to hit that spot, gain some yardage on the play.
Atlanta and San Francisco coming up next.
And Atlanta usually plays San Francisco very well. As you mentioned, Jim, last year they beat them twice.
Candlestick has witnessed some exciting games this year. They're 1-1, the Niners at home, and both games came down to a Mike Kofor field goal attempt in the final minute. He missed in a 3-point loss to the Bills and then beat the Rams 2 weeks ago in the closing seconds. 2nd down, 7 to go. Leading 10-6 Cleveland on the attack. 10 minutes to go in the game. Lawyer Tillman, welcome back to the NFL. 18 yards to Lawyer Tillman. His first game action since the 1990 Hall of Fame Classic in Akron, Ohio, or in Canton, Ohio.
And Tillman, the nice thing about him, he's such a big target. He's 6'5". Nothing but a skinny post or a slant pattern. And Tomczak comes out of here after the play walking around like Chester. Looks like he might have bruised his foot or something, but watch him. He's kind of gimpy walking around, but he's okay, I guess.
Robert Brown made contact with him. Tomczak throwing. This will be a flag, very obviously, against Benny Clark.
Noble blitzing on the play, number 91, pass interference on Clark.
Defensive pass interference, number 25. Automatic 1st down.
Here you see the pass interference on the play, number 25. Very obvious. Clark involved in pass interference on the play, number 25. Very obvious.
Against Metcalf. So 1st down from the 26. 2 tight ends. And Wolfley on a wing directly to the right. Timeout called by the Browns. That's the first one they've used in the 2nd half. And we'll return to Cleveland Stadium after this message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
This is CBS.
United Auto Supply, serving the tri-state area for over 30 years at 9 locations.
Amazing, but true. Right now, you can get 2 tempting Big Mac sandwiches for just $2 at McDonald's.
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Of course, they won't be spinning around like this. Right now, you can get 2 hot egg McMuffin sandwiches at breakfast for just $2. That's 2 for $2 at McDonald's, but not in this commercial.
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Maybe it's over here.
Romeo, where dost thou be?
The first draft of anything
Romeo!
is just a rough draft. No.
Hey, Romero!
Romero?
Are you out there, Romeo?
But Golden Draft is cold filtered and cold finished the Michelob way for a smoother finished draft.
Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Yes.
Wouldn't you rather be holding a golden?
So where you from?
Warsaw.
Huh? Hey, I got an uncle from there. Or was it Krakow?
Warsaw is a famous name in business insurance.
Hey, maybe you know him. Paul Zakowski?
Sorry.
But some people have trouble placing us.
Where's Warsaw?
Wisconsin.
Oh, welcome to America.
Oh, Warsaw Insurance.
That's Warsaw.
W-A-U-S-A-U.
Right.
Warsaw.
We're the business insurance experts from Warsaw.
Whatever.
Browns with a 4-point lead and driving with 9 minutes to go in the game. They called a timeout. Cleveland did. Each team is left with 2. Tom Zach last week against Pittsburgh led Cleveland from behind with second-half drives of 65 and 90 yards. He's already had a 70-plus drive for a touchdown in this half. Mack on the pitch to about the 23. Johnny Holland on the hit.
Kevin Mack is a very determined runner, and the other thing you like about him is the fact that he secures the ball so well when he's running, especially down the sideline.
Under 9 to go in the game. Second down and 7. Mack again. It'll set up 3rd and about 4, maybe 5. Brian Noble and Robert Brown combine on the tackle. I think it's been, for Cleveland, 51 games since they had a back run for 100 yards in a game.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It really has.
Third and 4. What a key down this is. Timeout. Tom Zach. That's the second one on this series, leaving Cleveland with only 1. We'll be right back.
Since the Honda Accord is America's best-selling car, why would you want to lease one? Well, for one thing, you won't have to drop a lot of cash. Introducing the Accord Lease Program. See your nearest dealer for details.
I know if you really care about somebody, nothing else should matter. But it does.
Sometimes getting close to him is all I think about.
I expect her to sweat if she's running a marathon, but not when we're close to each other.
Well, you just can't get close to a guy if he smells.
Get a little closer with Arid XX, the anti-odor antiperspirant. Arid XX helps keep you extra, extra dry.
I trust Arid.
Things haven't been that great with Steve and me for a while, so it's not a total surprise.
Believe me, it's still a little scary being on your own now. You really need to start thinking about money.
I haven't begun to think about that.
When I went through this, I sat down with a broker over at P. & Weber. He looked at what I had, and we came up with a plan that basically just let me get on with my life.
And how did he know what you needed?
Fortunately for me, he asked.
Well, in the game summary, we talked about that duration for Cleveland without a 100-yard rusher. Mack with good numbers today, 63 yards and a touchdown. Workman rushing and receiving 106. Pretty dead even on total yards. Chris Jackie's 2 field goals, the scoring for the Packers, as Cleveland again has not allowed the opposition into the end zone. It's been 28 days and 12 quarters. They've had a bye week, of course, in that stretch. 3rd and 4. Leading by 4. Midway through the final quarter. Bavaro in a slot to the right. And there he is, Bavaro with the first down catch. And fighting for yardage like the old New York Giant of old.
It's amazing. They had 2 receivers. And Bavaro makes the catch, and you see how he secured the ball once he made the catch. Look at Metcalf and Bavaro in the same spot. Somebody blew the pattern. I would guess it was Metcalf, but he made the catch. And look at him hold on to the football and try to get upfield and make as much yardage as he possibly can. It was a bad pattern by somebody, but a good catch by Bavaro.
His first catch of the day, he threw a big block on the touchdown run by Mack. Took 6 players to bring him down on that one. 1st and 10 from the 11. Mack up the middle. Holland has a hold of him, but not until he gains 6. Tony Jones with a good block, Hank.
Yeah, Tony Jones is a great story. He came in here as a free agent in 1988. And they had Larry Little come in, the great guard for the Miami Dolphins, look at all the prospects. And he watched him carefully and came to the conclusion when he left. He said, listen, this guy's going to be a great player. And he was right. Played his college football at Western Carolina.
The Catamounts. Played for the late coach, Bob Waters. Passed away of Lou Gehrig's disease. Here's a 2nd and 4 carry. Mack into the end zone for the touchdown. His 2nd of the day, his 50th of his career.
Fike, King, it looked like Bavaro all getting a good block at the point of attack. Mack with good vision, good balance. Head up, eyes open, makes the cut into the end zone for the touchdown.
He's about as good as anyone getting that tough yard. Well, that time it was a 6-yard run for a touchdown. Out of the hold of Hansen, Stover adds the extra point. So 6:08 to go in the game. 17-6, Cleveland.
Excuse me, you're the owner of this place?
Yeah, I'm one of them.
So you could buy any laser printer you wanted, huh?
We bought an HP LaserJet printer.
But you could have bought any laser printer.
Yeah. Why?
Ah, just for the novelty of it?
I got enough novelty around here.
But isn't buying an HP LaserJet sort of like a, no-brainer?
Nah, I think it's kind of like a brainer.
HP LaserJet printers. If it isn't a LaserJet, it's only a laser printer.
I try to ignore my sensitive teeth, but they hurt.
Sensodyne helps stop the pain that can make you stop brushing, could lead even to tooth loss. And now, Sensodyne has fluoride.
Fluoride, great.
New Sensodyne helps stop the pain of sensitive teeth.
Why is the Honda Accord the best-selling car in America? Maybe it's the reliability. Maybe it's the value. Maybe it's the interior.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by American Honda, who has been making quality cars in America for the past 10 years. HP LaserJet printers. If it isn't a LaserJet, it's only a laser printer. And by Valvoline Motor Oil. People who know use Valvoline.
Hank, how about the blocking for Mack to get him into the end zone? His second touchdown of the game.
All right, here we are right here. Childress and Galbraith coming off the ball do a great job. And, of course, Mack does a super job of reading the blocks. Look at that. Starts inside, breaks a little bit to the outside, goes into the end zone for the touchdown. Excellent blocking. And he goes in there unmolested for the touchdown.
Packers need 2 touchdowns, 2 scores. They're down 11. Brooks from the 6 runs it out to the 26, and a flag thrown in at the end. Another reminder that tonight, 8 o'clock, we'll have game 2 of the World Series.
Well, there's a lot of excitement in Atlanta, isn't there?
I'm telling you. Toronto and the Braves. Game 2, Atlanta won last night 3-1. John Smoltz on the mound for the Braves. He was the MVP of the National League Championship Series. Smoltz, and he'll be up there tonight on the mound on the hill for Atlanta. Holding call against the special teams unit of Green Bay, and they'll now start this drive from their own 15. Their worst starting field position of the day. The dog pound to their back. Green Bay operating from the 15. Sidney has it for about 8.
They're playing a 3 deep zone, and justifiably they're going to make them travel slowly. They're not going to give them man for man with a possibility of making a big play.
2nd and 3. 5:30 to go in the game. Harris. Boy, was he open. Near the 40. Newsom on the hit.
Well, the tight end should be open against a 3 deep zone, and they spotted it quickly. I'm impressed the way he reads the coverages and gets rid of the ball so quickly, talking about fire.
Workman, oh boy, he had to go back and get it. And only a gain of about 3.
This is typical 49er pass offense because they expect to throw the ball with a high percentage kind of a pass and hope that the receiver will make a catch and run with it for a long way. That time he bobbled the ball and didn't have a chance to do anything but accept the ball. 2nd and 7. Look at Workman almost squeeze his way out of that one. It'll be 3rd and short, 3rd and about 2. Mike Johnson will get credit for that tackle. That's the great thing about this offense. They learn they must be patient if you're going to run this offense efficiently. No huddle, and 4:30 to go in the game. Down 11. Favre on 3rd and 2. Favre wants to run for it, and he dives for the first down at the 50. Broke away from Perry for a moment. Man-for-man coverage on the play. Didn't have any place to throw the ball. Had enough awareness, however, to tuck it away and move the ball up there for the first down. Packers have 2 timeouts remaining. First down, sideline, too low for Beach. That's the one thing that happens to you when you're throwing the ball so quickly, especially for a young quarterback. He wants to get rid of it so quickly that sometimes he throws the ball before he's actually ready to throw the ball, and as a result throws it badly. No interceptions for Favre, who came in with the lowest interception percentage in the NFL, a category usually reserved for Bernie Kosar, who's the all-time leader in lowest percent of interceptions. I think that Cleveland was across the line, but Salem then reacted to it and came out of his stance.
False start, number 72, before the snap. Offense. 5-2nd down.
Back up to the 45. Holmgren's team 0-2 on the road and in danger of dropping to 0-3 on the road. They've been outscored away from home by a total of 72-19. Second and 15. Pump fake. Favre looking long for Brooks. Oh, Randy Hilliard stuck a hand in there. I thought Brooks might come down with it.
It was close. 57, Matthews blitzing on the play. Again, man-for-man coverage. Here you see the play. Both of them were making an honest attempt to get the ball.
A lot of contact, but they said they both were going for it, so it's 3rd and 15.
Gotta have everybody to get down the hook about 18-20 yards.
Here they come. Just got it away. Favre had to just get rid of it.
Brandon blitzing on the play along with Johnson right up the middle. There you see Johnson, 59. Both get in there, and he makes them throw the ball badly because of the rush.
McJulian, they call him hang time. And he could use one here. I think they're too far out, Hank, on 4th and 15 to go for the fake. McJulian. He's had his troubles today in this soggy air, and it goes to the 19. 36 yards on that punt. Cleveland has the football and the lead by 11 with 3:44 to go.
Working to be the best they can be. Teammates, sponsored by the U.S. Army. This year, Washington special teams are even more special. Number 30, Brian Mitchell, is joined at deep back by Heisman Trophy winner Desmond Howard, number 80. This trick lateral was used for the first time in a decade by the Skins, because together, this pair of game breakers make the world champions the best they can be.
If you want to move ahead in any career, you have to know what most employers want. Like how to work with a team, how to handle responsibility, how to take on a tough job and see it through. You can learn all these things in the Army, so when you do set off on the road to success, you'll already be in the driver's seat.
18 years ago, Honda introduced a new class of car to America. The Accord. Now we'd like to introduce a new class of Accord with fine leather appointments, anti-lock brakes, and dual airbags. The Accord SE from Honda.
This game is presented by authority of the National Football League, and this CBS telecast is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the Cleveland Browns, and the National Football League is prohibited. So there, you've been warned. Now from the 19, Cleveland, an 11-point lead. Cardell is behind Tomczak, and here he is, the rookie from Stanford, spinning for about 4.
You have to be impressed with Cleveland. Only 1 turnover, 3 penalties, no sacks allowed. Got to be impressed with that.
No touchdowns allowed. Timeout called by Green Bay. The Packers have 1 remaining. 3:36 to go in the game.
Billy Belichick, the head coach of Cleveland, has really done a terrific job with this young football team. And as I mentioned earlier, Art Modell, the owner of the Cleveland Browns, said he's going to be here for a long, long time.
He's going to return this franchise to a place of glory, is what Mr. Modell says.
How many times, however, have you heard that song before?
Well, he's got him headed in the right. He's got him headed in the right direction. There's Art Modell, the longtime owner of the Browns, on the right.
And he's really been a great owner. He really has been a terrific guy.
Belichick took a 3-win team to a 6-win season his first year. And now a little more than 3 minutes away from getting to 500. 3-3. Year 2. 2nd and 7. Roll out. Galbraith gives him a new set of downs at the 38.
There again, a play action bootleg pattern. Taking the backs one way, the quarterback goes to the other way. Galbraith comes over from the tight end position on the right side across the field, makes the catch, first down.
Tom Zach, Hank, has hit his last 7 passes.
Some people maybe would be surprised at the fact that he threw, but the way he threw a play action pass didn't surprise me all, because it's a very high percentage kind of a play.
1st and 10. Mack right into Noble. Maybe a yard.
They got a wing back on the left side outside the tight end. Jim, the corner's playing off their socks. If they just toss the ball outside, run left, outside, if they have the same defense, you ought to be able to pick up a pretty good game.
Well, Cleveland will not have to snap it before the 2-minute warning. So they'll let it run down. Green Bay has 1 timeout, but they're saving it. So we've reached the 2-minute warning with the score Cleveland 17 and Green Bay 6.
Not only is this Honda Accord designed to improve airflow, but cash flow as well. Introducing the Accord Lease Program. See your nearest dealer for details.
The Postal Service would like to present 2-day priority mail. That's delivery in just 2 days of up to 2 pounds for just $2.90. Remember, 2 days, 2 pounds, $2.90. 2-day priority mail from your Postal Service.
We deliver for you.
For pickup service, call 1-800-222-1811.
In Cleveland, where it's been drizzling throughout, and a 3-0 halftime lead by the Browns, extended now to a 17-6 advantage near the end.
Both teams played very hard out here this afternoon. And you have to be impressed with the Cleveland team, the way they have played defensively, especially in that 20-yard area.
2nd and 9, Green Bay with 1 timeout. Vardell to the 40. It'll be 3rd and about 7. And there's the timeout, the last one for Green Bay. Packers next week will be hosting Chicago.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
Atlanta at San Francisco is coming up next. And if this game ends a little before 4, as we expect, we'll have time to take you back for the quick update from the studio in New York with Greg and Terry. What has Tom Zak proven to you today, Hank?
Well, I think he's proven that he has a lot of leadership qualities. He's very steady, very dependable, very solid. He's got a great attitude, too. Nothing bothers him.
3rd and 7. Green Bay gets it back. They got to stop him here, and they do. So the Packers will make one last attempt without any timeouts.
You know, we have to say a little bit about Jay Hilgenberg, too. He's done a terrific job here with Cleveland. Started as soon as he got here, had a tough first day in his first contest for the Cleveland Browns, but he's improved every game because he knows more about what's happening in the system, and everybody points to him as a very solid force in the offensive line.
Has started the last 7 Pro Bowls for the NFC. And he told us, I don't think we've kicked in yet, but maybe they have today. Maybe it's that turning point to get it back to 500. And a good film to send to Chicago as the Bears will prep for Green Bay next week. Tom Zak and Hilgenberg will be pleased. Terrell Buckley, look out for this guy. He can break one. And they'll let it run down. 3 seconds on the down clock. Nope. Instead of taking the penalty.
Timeout. 40-second timeout.
How about for Green Bay? The question mark really has been for a couple of weeks. Will Favre be the quarterback for the rest of the year, or once Mikowski is healthy, will they go back to Dunn?
That's going to be a big decision for Mike to have to make when that time comes, because he doesn't know whether he'll go with the young quarterback or whether he'll bring the Magic Man back and see what he can do as a veteran quarterback.
Mentioned Chicago is next week for Green Bay, then at Detroit, at the Giants, Philadelphia, at Milwaukee, and then another game against Chicago. Buckley is 3rd in the NFC in punt returns behind Mel Gray and Kelvin Martin. Ran one back 58 yards for a touchdown against Cincinnati.
Well, that's the thing. He's like a time bomb. You know, you got to be very careful. You make sure you got to stay in your lanes and cover well.
Oh, they throw a flag. Buckley fumbled it anyway and then made the recovery, but they say Hansen was hit, so Cleveland will get the football back and run it out. And I thought that
running into the kicker. Number 36.
That was Leroy Butler. And Hank, tell me if this was incidental contact. I didn't think there was much of a hit here by Butler.
Well, let's see.
Well, I'll take that back.
He hit him in the air.
Yeah,
no question about it.
Second look tells a different story.
Yep, hit him in the air.
So that'll do it. Cleveland will go to 3-3, and the Packers will fall to 2-4. They still have to burn off the last minute of the clock. Tonight we have 60 minutes for you.
36.
Followed by Game 2 of the World Series, Toronto and Atlanta, with the Braves leading 1-0. Well, I tell you what, Hank, they called it running into the kicker, which is not an automatic first. And the 5 yards would have left it still at 4th down. So interestingly, it's not an automatic first since it's running into the kicker, not roughing. And Green Bay will have possession. So let's fix that now. Green Bay will have the football, 54 seconds to go, and the football at their own 25. So the penalty was not enough, about a half yard shy of the first. "54 seconds. No timeouts. Favre on the run. and almost intercepted. He overthrew Harris, and then Odie Harris just re-signed this week. Almost had the interception. Played the first 2 games of the season, then was cut, and then re-signed this week. Odie Harris.
And of course, Cleveland's with 6 defensive backs to prevent defense, which is obvious.
.48 seconds to go. Favre trying to buy some time, and over the head of Sanjay Beach. Actually, the ball was deflected by Rob Burnett. .39 seconds to go in the game. This was a renewal of an old NFL rivalry. Cleveland and Green Bay met in the 1965 NFL championship game, with Green Bay winning 23-12. It was Jimmy Brown's last game. He retired afterwards. Horning and Taylor combined to rush for over 200. Hadn't met in 6 years, though, till today. Brooks from the 30 needs to get out of bounds, and he does.
He didn't look like he wanted to get out of bounds. He was trying to make a move and then decided.
They ruled that he was actually stopped. I didn't see it that way, but they blew the whistle. Still in bounds, so 15 seconds remaining. 4th down play. Sharp will add to his stats, but that will close it out. So the Cleveland Browns, down to the 3rd quarterback of the year, are now 3-3 on the season. Kosar coming back in 3 weeks. And this defense of the Browns has now gone 13 quarters without allowing a touchdown. He was a young defensive wizard with the New York Giants, and Belichick has his defense playing proud in Cleveland. So for Hank Stram, I'm Jim Nantz saying so long from Cleveland Stadium, where the final score is Cleveland 17 and Green Bay 6. Coming up next, coverage of the NFL continues with the Atlanta Falcons taking on the San Francisco 49ers. You're watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.